the world, and welcome to today's episode of Coffee Chats with Jax. You guys, last weekend I had the opportunity to face some fears and some insecurities that I've had. I was given the opportunity to face those really head on, and it was the most insanely incredible weekend. One of the best weekends I think of my life, because I was pushed in ways that I've never been pushed before. I had to do some things that I've never done before, some things that I've always wanted to do or been scared of doing. Basically, I went to this camp last weekend, one that I actually went to when I was 17. It was a camp of about 300 17-year-old kids in the mountains, and it was this leadership character building type of camp. And on the first day of this camp, I was supposed to pretend to be this thing called a secret camper. Basically, I had to put on the whole uniform of the student. So I had to wear the student sweatshirt, I had to pretend to be 17, I had the name tag. My role was the really troubled loner kid that I was supposed to be really awkward. I was supposed to not talk to anyone, not make jokes, not be anyone's friend. I just had to look really depressed and really in need of help. And so I would stare at the ground a lot, and I would intentionally not sit with anyone and pull off to the side. And when people would talk to me, I'd be really short and I wouldn't be allowed to smile, which was hard enough in itself for me because I can't ever stop smiling. It was really hard. I had to do this for one full day. One full day I had to be the really loner, awkward kid. Even if people tried to be my friend and stuff, I had to just really seem like I was having a hard time. And then on the second day, part of my acting role as secret camper was that I had to stand up in front of 300 kids and say, there's this thing called a mental heckler, which is what one of the guest speakers was talking about. It was kind of like your critic, your inner voice in your head that's criticizing you. They asked us all what your mental heckler says to you, and I had to stand up and say, my mental heckler says that I should kill myself. It was hard. My hands were shaking knowing that I was gonna have to say that. First of all, this all was so hard because it's the opposite of how I handle any and all social situations. Second of all, this stuff was hard because I've actually felt these things before. I felt like the loner, I felt really troubled, I felt really depressed. If you guys have been watching my videos, you'll know that I have had all these feelings before because I share about them here. I have had thoughts of wanting to be dead. I have had thoughts of not wanting to wake up in the morning because I think that it would be easier. I've had thoughts of feeling like I don't belong anywhere, feeling like I'm too scared to talk to people because I'm afraid that I'll be annoying or needy or uninteresting. All of that has been really real to me. But the thing is, when I feel those things, my knee-jerk reaction is to put a shell over it. Put a uniform on. What version of me do I want the world to see me as? I don't want anyone to know that I'm not okay, so I laugh a lot and I smile a lot and I make a lot of jokes, and I do everything and anything to make people not know that I'm upset, because if they actually knew what was going on in my head, they would think that I was a crazy person. Going into this acting role per se, where no one knew that I was acting, everyone thought that I was the troubled kid, it was hard for me because it took away my shell. And the whole point of this acting thing was to draw awareness for kids to know when they should go sit with the kid that's eating by themselves, or go sit with the kid that doesn't have a group, or help kids that don't look like they feel like they belong, know the signs and help them become involved and help them feel like they belong. Go be their friend, go ask them to sit with you at lunch, ask them how they're doing, ask if someone needs help. Even if you don't know what to say, you don't have advice, just go be their friend. That's what the whole point of this thing was. And I knew that, and I knew that there was this big purpose behind this, and to be aware of which kids are trying to help me and which kids are coming up and asking me and seeing if I'm okay. That was the point of it. It was really tough for me because it took away my outer shell. It exposed my feelings, and it also brought attention to my one fear of that if I'm not interesting, people won't want to be my friend. If I'm not the funny one, if I'm not the life of the party, people are not going to want to hang out with me, and then I'm not going to belong anywhere, and people are going to like me, and I'm scared of people not liking me. So I've had a history in my life of trying really hard to be that exciting person so that people will like me. In this camp, knowing my role and knowing the point of it, I was still in the back of my mind thinking, but I really want these kids to like me. This sucks feeling like nobody likes me. So it put me in my fear. It took away my ability, my method of making friends. It made me be the exact opposite of that. But you guys know what happened? People still came up and tried to talk to me. Whether I was exciting or funny or asking questions or not, because I wasn't. I was a total loner. This one specific girl saw me from across this field. She must have seen my name tag because she yells, "Jackie, do you have a group? Come be in our group." And so I walk on over to her, and I'm just staring down at my feet, just really uncomfortable, really nervous. And she just tries to be my friend. And she finds me the next day and she said, "Oh my gosh, I've been looking for you. Did you find your group?" And then there was another girl who does the same thing. Like, these people were trying to be my friend not because of my exciting stories, not because I'm funny or I'm the life of the party, but they're just trying to be my friend because of me. No matter what it is that I have to offer, I'm worthy of friendship just for being me, whether I am looking really sad or not. I've had this like thing in my mind thinking like, if I'm sad, people won't like me. If I'm not really exciting and funny, people won't like me. And that just squashed that fear. So thank you to those of you out there who went to this camp. If you're watching this video, you really helped me learn that. There was like a bunch of kids coming up to me crying, telling me like, some of them apologizing for not coming to talk to me. And it's like, I get it. I was super convicted in this too, because I don't know if I would notice the kid who needed help, like especially when I was 17. Everyone's so consumed in their own minds and so consumed in like their own friendships and trying to make sure that like they're okay, that we don't see the kid sitting by herself or the boy sitting there crying, pretending to be on his phone because he doesn't know what else to do. I feel like we've all been that kid in some respect, and I know that I have. So playing this part, I was able to actually observe. I was able to actually take notice of other kids around acting like me, acting like the part that I was playing, but they didn't get to like be revealed the next day like I was gonna get to. They didn't get to take off the costume of the loner kid. They had to just be that because that's how they felt, genuinely. And so playing this role made me so aware. I don't want to just think about me in social situations. When I walk into a big place, I don't want to just look for who I know, because that's our natural instinct, is to look for who I know and go be with them. Like, be with the people you know. And that's great, and it's beautiful to have friends that you could do that with. But there's another thing we could do in those situations, which is to look for someone who doesn't know anybody. Make them feel special, if even just for a second, because you never know the kind of impact that you're going to make on their life. Even just by me playing this acting role. The people that came up to talk to me, oh my gosh, they made the biggest impact, bigger than I might ever be able to like explain. It was really, really cool. That was my weekend, and after that I got to give my first speech to those same 300 kids, and I gave pretty much the story about my life. I've never done public speaking before. I've done these videos for like 4 or 5 years now. I can say anything to a camera and put it up on the internet, and I just kind of am fine with it. It's weird. Or I can write anything in a book and put it out to the world and it's fine. But when it comes to like actually standing up on a stage and speaking to a bunch of people looking back at me, it was gonna be really scary. I was so scared, but you guys, I did it. I felt like I was gonna throw up. I actually like really genuinely thought I was going to be sick, like Mia Thermopolis style. I was gonna run off the stage and puke, but I didn't. Guys, face your fears. Do what you're scared to do. You have no idea what you're capable of. You have no idea unless you try. This sounds so cliche, but you gotta just try. Yes, so last weekend was amazing. I learned that people don't just want to be my friend if I'm funny and loud and exciting. I learned that sometimes I need to pay more attention to the people around me, not just my friends, but who needs a friend. And I learned that I can do public speaking and I really like it. And I would never have known that if I didn't face my fears and go up there and do that. So take this as your nudge to go do what you are afraid to do. Face your fears. Take this as your nudge to go sit with that kid at lunch who doesn't have any friends. Ask him how his day is. Anything. Smile at them even. Like, remind them that they're a person and that they matter too. There's a squashed bug on my wall and it's so gross. And I keep looking at it. I'm gonna clean that up. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. To all those who were at this camp that I was at last weekend, if you're watching this video, thank you so much for being the most incredible group of people ever. Please keep following me, keep in touch. I really would love to connect with you guys and maybe run into you again sometime soon. So yes, I love you and I'll see you next week.